Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to solve Cambridge International AS and A-Level Mathematics Paper 1 Pure Mathematics 1 in a session October-November 2022 Paper 1-1. So let's start with the first question. Question number 1, solve the equation. So have to get the value of x because this is an equation in the variable x. So cross multiplied is the first step. 3x plus 2 is multiplying with the denominator x minus 1 and that is equals to 2. Now 3x is multiplying with x minus 1 and plus 2 is multiplying with x minus 1 equals to 2. Now 3x with x is 3x square minus 3x plus 2x minus 2. Shift the 2 on the other side, it's also minus 2. Okay, now this is 3x square and the x term is minus 3 and plus 2 is minus x and this is negative 4 equals to 0, right? Now this is a quadratic equation. We try to factorize this. 3 times 4, negative 12. Factors of negative 12, that gives you minus 1. So when you do 3 minus 4, you will get negative 1. Okay. Now break the midterm. 3x square plus 3x minus 4x minus 4 equals to 0. Now take 3 and x common. We are left with x plus 1. Take negative 4 common, x plus 1 equals to 0. Okay, now the factors are 3x minus 4 and x plus 1 equals to 0. Now here we have 3x minus 4 is equals to 0 and x plus 1 is also equals to 0. So 3x is equals to positive 4. Shift the 4 on the other side and divide both sides by 3. So x is 4 by 3. And here the x value is, shift the 1 on the other side, negative 1. So the two solutions for this equation is 4 by 3 and negative 1. All right. Question number 2. The equation of a curve is such that its first derivative is given to us. It is given that the curve passes through the point P, which has a coordinate 6 and 4. Part A, find the equation of tangent to the curve at P. So for equation of tangent, we need two things. The coordinates of P, which are given, and the gradient of the curve at the x coordinate, right? Okay, so just figure out what is dy over dx at x would be equals to 6 because p coordinate, x coordinate is 6. Okay, 12 is as it is, 1 over 2 multiplying with x coordinate, which is 6 minus 1, and its whole power is negative 4. Okay, let me simplify this. 1 by 2 multiplying by 6, negative 1, and the whole power is negative 4, and multiplying by 12, that is 3 by 4. This is 3 by 4. Right, now we need to find out the equation of tangent easily. Sorry, equation of tangent at point P, which has a coordinate 6 and 4. The equation of tangent is y minus y naught is equals to m into x minus x naught, right? So this is x naught, this is y naught. So y minus 4, m is 3 by 4 into x minus 6. This would be the equation of tangent to the curve at point P. Or you can do one more step. Y would be equals to 3 over 4 multiplying by x minus 3 over 4 is multiplying by 6, and shift the 4 on the other side, which is positive 4. So we can simplify. Negative 3 by 4 multiplying by 6 and add with 4 is minus 1 by 2. So this would be y equals to 3 by 4x and minus 1 by 2. That would be the equation of tangent in the simplified form. Both are okay, this one or this one. Find the part B, find the equation of the curve. So we have given the derivative and we have given the point that this point passes through the curve, right? So write down the derivative. Dy over dx is 12, 1 over 2x minus 1, its whole power is negative 4. In order to get the equation of curve, we have to integrate both sides with respect to dx. Okay, Now this dx and dx is cancelled out, derivative is cancelled out with integral. We are just left with y, which is equals to 12 is a constant, applying the power rule of integration. So first write down the function 1 over 2x minus 1 power plus 1 divides power plus 1 multiply 1 over the derivative of this whole function is 1 over 2. Okay. Now we have y is equals to 12 into 1 by 2x minus 1 to the power negative 3 over negative 3 multiply 1 over 1 by 2 is just 2, the reciprocal. And 2 times 12 gives you 24. And divide by negative 3 as well, right? 2 times 12 and divided by 3 is just 8, so negative 8. Y is minus 8. 1 over half x minus 1, its whole power is 3. It's positive power. This is a curve, right? Wait, I did integration, so there is a constant of integration as well. I forgot to put it because this is indefinite integral, right? Now to get the c value, use the point P, which is 6 and 4. Okay. So the point P is 6, 4. It lies on the curve. It must satisfy the curve. The y coordinate is 4. The x coordinate is 6. So this is half into 6 minus 1 and its whole cube plus c. Let me simplify. So half times 6 minus 1, its whole cube is 8. Negative 8 over 8 is negative 1. So this is 4 equals to negative 1 plus c. 4 plus 1, which is 5, is the value for the constant of integration. Now we can write down the equation of tangent, equation of curve is y equals to negative 8 over 1 by 2x minus 1 whole cube and plus 5. That would be the equation of curve. Question number 3, a curve has equation. This is equation of the curve where x is greater than 0 and a is a constant. It can be positive or negative, no restriction. The curve has a stationary point at the point P. So point P is a stationary point of the curve. Right, so for the stationary point, what we have to do, we need to put the first derivative equals to 0 to get the stationary point. And which has the x coordinate is 9. Find the y coordinate of the P. So it has a stationary point P, x coordinate is 9. We need to solve for the y coordinate, right? So we have given that for stationary point, what we need to do, we need to put dy over dx is equals to 0. Now what is dy over dx? We have to differentiate this. A is a constant. X to the power 1 by 2 derivative is power base power minus 1 and the derivative of x is just 1. So minus 2x derivative is again 1. This would be equals to 0. Okay. And we have given that when you put the first derivative equals to 0, you will get the x coordinate, right? So the x coordinate is 9. This is also given to us, so just substitute. Given that x coordinate is 9, from here we can get the a value, right? So a 1 over 2, x coordinate is 9, its power is 1 by 2 minus 1, so it's minus 1 by 2. Minus 2 equals to 0. Okay. Now 9 to the power negative 1 by 2 is 1 over 3. Times it by 1 by 2 is 1 over 6. Right. A is multiplying with 1 over 6 and shift the 2 on the other side becomes positive. So A would be equals to 2 times 6, that is equals to 12. A is a constant, so we got the A value, which is 12. Now to get the y coordinate of stationary point, for y coordinate of the stationary point, put the x coordinate into the equation of curve. Equation of curve is y equals to a square root of x minus 2x, right? Now we have a value is 12 and the x coordinate is 9, right? Y is equals to 12 root 9 minus 2 into 9. Okay. Okay, 12 root 9 minus 2 times 9, 18. The y coordinate is 18. So now we have the coordinates of the stationary point. Coordinates of P are 9 and 18. But in the question, we just need to figure out the y coordinate of the point P, and that y coordinate is 18. Okay. Question number 4. The coefficient of x square and the expansion of this plus this is 70. Find the possible values of constant P. Possible values of the constant P. Sum, this is a sum, not a product, so means we need to figure out the coefficient of x square from here and the coefficient of x square for this expansion and then add them up, and their sum should be 70. Okay, so the first expansion, 1 plus 2 over p x to the power 5, open it, first term to the power 5 plus 5c1 first term to the power 4, 2 over px to the power 1 plus 5c2 first term to the power 3 and the second term to the power 2, right? Now this is x square term. You can pick x square term. X square term is 5c2 1 cube 2x over p its square, right? What is 5c2? 5c2 is 10. You can either open the binomial expansion or use a term formula for the binomial expansion. Both are okay, right? 1 cube is just 1. 2 square is 4. This is x square over p square. This would be equals to 40 over p square x square. So x square coefficient is 40 over p square, right? Now open the second expansion. 1 plus px to the power 6. 1 to the power 6. 6c1 1 to the power 5 into px plus 6c2 1 to the power 4 px square. This is x square term, right? Now we have the x square term is 6c2 1 4 and px whole square. So it's square 6c2 15. This is 15. 1 to the power 4 is 1. P square x square. Now this is 15. P square is a coefficient of x square, right? Now we have the coefficient of x square for this expansion, which is 40 over p square, and the coefficient of x square for this expansion, which is 15 p square. Add them up and this should be equals to 70, right? So we have given that sum of their x square coefficients are 40 over p square plus 15p square. This should be equals to 70. Now we need to just solve for the values of p. Right? Yeah, two. It must be more than one value. Okay. Now take the LCM. We have 40 plus 15 p to the power 4 divide p square equals to 70. Cross multiply 40 plus 15 p4 equals to 70 times p square. Shift this term over here. This is 40 plus 15 p4 minus 70 p square equals to 0. Okay, so now all the terms are divisible by 5 as well. Dividing by 5, dividing by 5, and divided by 5. Okay. Now we have 5 times 8 is 40, 5 times 3 is 15, and 5 times 70 divided by 5 is 14 p square. This is equals to 0. Now let me arrange this equation. 3p4 minus 14p square plus 8 equals to 0. Now this look like a quadratic equation in a variable p square. Now let me try to factorize 3 times 8 is 24. Pick the factors of 24. 2 times 12 is 24. And when you do minus 2 and minus 12, this is negative 14. Right? So break the midterm, negative 14. 3p4 minus 2p square minus 12p square plus 8 equals to 0. Now here you can take just p square common. 3p square minus 2 is left. Okay, you need to take a negative sign common to make this positive. Now make it 3. Okay, 3 times 4 is 12. Take 4 common now. 4 times 3 is 12. P square with a negative 4 times 2 is 8. Okay. Now the factors are p square minus 4 and 3p square minus 2 equals to 0. Now the first factor is equals to 0 and the second factor 3p square minus 2 is also equals to 0. From here the p square is 4, 3p square is equals to positive 2 and p square is 2 by 3. This is p square, sorry, but we need to find the possible values of constant p, not p square. So what we need to do, take a square root on both sides, square root, the square root with a plus minus, the square root and the square root with a plus minus, right? So whenever we do the square root on both sides, the answer should be in plus and minus. So here the p value is plus minus 2, and from here the p value is plus minus square root 2 by 3. So the possible values of p are 2 minus 2, root 2 by 3 and minus root 2 by 3. So there are basically 4 values of p. Question number 5. The diagram shows a sector OAB of a circle with a center O, the length of the arc AB. Arc length we have given, which is 8 centimeter. It is given that the parameter of the sector is 20 centimeter. Parameter of the sector, the whole sector parameter is 20 centimeter, right? Okay, part A, find the parameter of the shaded region only. So use the given information that the parameter of a sector, so parameter of a sector is sum of all sides of a sector, which is OA, OB and AB. OA, OB and AB. Okay. So parameter of a sector is 20. As we know that OA and OB both are the radius, right, of this sector. So we can name this R plus 8. From 20, take away 8 and this would be 2R. So R plus R is 2R and shift the 8 on the other side, right? So 12, this would be 2R. And 12 divided by 2, this is 6 and that is the radius of this sector. So this is 6 and this 6. Okay. Now we need to figure out the parameter of the shaded region. All right. So the arc length information we have given, right? Arc length is radius times theta. So we need to figure out the radius in radians, and the radius is 6 and theta is in radians. Use the second information that the arc length is radius times theta. Arc length is 8. We got the radius, which is 6, and we have theta. 8 divided by 6 is your theta. Let me simplify it. 8 over 6, 4 by 3 radians. 4 over 3 radians is your theta value, right? This is in radians because this formula is used for radians, not for degree, right? This is 4 by 3. Now we need to find the parameter of the shaded region. Okay. Now for the shaded region, we need to figure out the arc length AB and the side length AB. Okay. We have the arc length AB. For the side length AB for this triangle AOAB, the two sides and the angle between them is given. Law of cosine we have to apply to get the side AB. Okay. Now we can say apply law of cosine on triangle OAB. Okay. So the side length AB square The two sides are 6 square plus 6 square minus 2 into 6, and the cos of the angle between the two sides is 4 by 3. This is in radians, right? Okay, simplify. My calculator is in radians, so find out cos 4 by 3 times by 6 times by 6 times by negative 2, and add 6 square, then add 6 square. This is your AB square. 55.0063. Now to get the value for AB, take a square root of 55.1. If you round it to square root of answer is 7.4. AB 7.4. So we got the AB, which is 7.4. So now what is a parameter? Arc length AB and the side length AB. So, and just write down the parameter of the shaded region. That is a sum of 8 and 7.4 plus 8. 15.4 is the parameter. So 15.4 centimeter, that is the parameter. Now for part B, find the area of the shaded segment only. Okay, so this segment is shaded. So basically, first for the shaded segment area, we have to find the area of this sector OAB and subtract the area of the triangle OAB. You will get the area of the shaded segment. Area of shaded segment. This is area of sector OAB minus area of triangle OAB. Okay. Okay, now we have to find the shaded area would be equals to area of a sector is half radius square theta. Area of a triangle is half AB sine C. I just write down the formula first, right? Okay, so we know the radius of the circle, radius of the sector, sorry. So sector radius is 6 and the angle is 4 by 3 radians. Okay, now we have half, radius is 6, angle is 4 by 3 minus half for the triangle, the two sides and the sine of angle between them. Okay, the two sides are 6 and 6 and the sine 4 by 3 radians. Okay, now let me figure out 1 by 2 times 6 square and times 4 by 3, 24 minus 1 by 2 times by 6 times by 6 times sine 4 by 3. This is in radians, right? 17.5. Okay. 24 subtract answer, which is 6.51 if I round it to. So the shaded area becomes 6.51 centimeter square. This will be the shaded area. Okay. Question number 6, part A. Show that the equation may be expressed in the form in sign only, where A, B, C are constants to be found. Okay. So basically we have to cross multiply it with the opposite denominator. This one is multiplying with this denominator and this one is multiplying with its opposite denominator. So we can write down cos sine theta minus cos theta. Okay, and then this shift on the other side plus sine theta plus cos theta. And we need to divide it by sine theta plus cos theta into sine theta minus cos theta, and that is just equals to 1. Okay, Now you guys can see we have sine plus sine, 2 sine, right? And positive cos and negative cos is just cancelled out. Okay, so we can write this down as 2 sine theta divides. Now you can see sine plus cos, sine minus cos. Difference of square formula we have to use. A square minus b square is a plus b and a minus b. When you have two factors with a positive and negative, this is a square plus b square. Sorry, minus b square. A is sine theta square minus b is cos theta square. This is equals to 1. Okay. Now shift on the other side. So 2 sine theta would be equals to sine square theta minus cos square theta. But you guys can see we have to convert everything into sine square, sine and constant, quadratic equation in sine basically. This is in cos. So we have to shift it. We know that sine square plus cos square is 1. And what is cos square? 1 minus sine square. Write it down. So 2 sine theta equals to sine square theta minus 1 minus sine square theta. This is 2 sine theta equals to sine square minus 1 and plus sine square. So 2 sine theta is equals to 2 sine square theta and negative 1. Shift everything to the left. So 0 would be equals to 2 sine square theta minus 2 sine theta. When you shift to the right side, sorry, this is negative and minus 1. So we have expressed a sine square theta plus b sine theta plus c would be equals to 0. A is 2, b is minus 2 and c is minus 1. They are integers. Part B, hence solve the equation from 0 degree to 360 degree. This is in degrees, right? So we know that this whole thing can be expressed in 2 sine square theta minus 2 sine theta and minus 1 equals to 0. We have already done in part A. This whole thing is expressed in this form. Now this looks like a quadratic equation in sine. Factorization is not possible. 2 times 1 is 2. Okay, no. So apply the quadratic formula for here. Sine theta is minus b plus minus square root b square minus 4ac divides 2a, and a, b and c. A is a coefficient of sine square, b is a coefficient of sine, and c is a constant which is negative 1. Okay, so here we have sine theta would be equals to negative, the b values minus 2 plus minus square root b values negative 2 square minus 4 times a times c divides 2 times of a, which is 2. Okay, simplified further from here, sine theta would be equals to 2 plus minus square root. Okay, we have negative 2 square, and then we need to add minus minus plus add 4 times 2, which is 12, root 12 to root 3. This is root 12. 2 times 2 is 4. Or we can write this down as 2 plus minus 2 square root of 3 divided by 4. Or you can take 2 common from the numerator, 1 plus minus root 3 divided by 4. 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4. So we have two values for sine. The first is sine theta is equals to 1 plus root 3 divided by 2, and the other one is sine theta is 1 minus root 3 divided by 2. Okay, now let me solve 1 plus root 3 divided by, okay, 1 plus root 3 over 2 is 1.4. Sine theta is 1.4, and 1 minus root 3 divided by 2 is sine theta is minus 0.4. Now here the sign is positive and here sign is negative, and the domain we have given is from 0 to 360 degrees. First thing, we need to convert our calculator into degree mode. Right? Now the whole circle we have 0 to 360. Draw the coordinate diagram and check sign is positive in which quadrant and negative in which quadrant, right? Okay. So according to the coordinate diagram, in the first quadrant, all trigonometric ratios are positive. Here sine is positive, here tangent is positive, and here cos is positive, right? Here we do the base angle, here we do 180 minus the base angle, here we do 180 plus the base angle, and 360 minus the base angle, right? Okay, now sine is positive. You guys can see sine is positive in first, second. Sine is negative in third and fourth. So first thing we need to figure out the base angle for both, right? So the base angle and the base angle for this case as well. Okay, now the base angle is theta, which is sine inverse of 1.4 radians. And here the base angle is theta, which is sine inverse of 0.4. Because when you are dealing with the base angle, you have to consider it positive, right? Whether it is negative, consider it positive, right? Okay, this is in degrees. Sine inverse 1.4 degrees. It's not possible. Not possible because the range of sine function is -1 sine theta till +1. So the range of sine is between -1 and +1. This is greater than 1, right? It's not possible. Okay, now on the other side, sine inverse 0.4. Theta is 23.6 degrees. This is your theta. Okay, so we got the value for theta. Now sine is negative in which quadrant? In third and fourth quadrant, right? So here I would like to consider this whole thing, right? So what is 1 minus root 3 divided by 2? That is 0.3, 0.36601. Okay, now we have to consider it positive, right? When we are dealing with the angles, and find the sine inverse of that should be 21.5 degrees. Now the base angle is 21.5 degrees, right? So 180 plus 21.5, 180 plus answer. This is 201.5 degrees. Theta is 201.5 degrees, right? Sine is negative in third quadrant. It is also negative in the fourth quadrant. Sine is negative in the fourth quadrant as well. So for the fourth quadrant, what is the value for theta? Which is 360 minus this base angle. So theta should be 360 degree minus this is a base angle which is 21.5 degrees. I hope this is clear now. 360 minus 21.5. Theta is 338.5 degrees. These two answers are in the range from 0 to 360 degree. 201.5 and 338.5. So keep it in mind that whenever you have this, it is better to consider the whole of that angle. But with the help of this decimal form, we can easily get that this term is positive and this is negative, and sign of any number which is more than 1 is not possible. So we are just dealing with this case. But when you are dealing with the whole sine inverse, so consider this expression. It is better for accurate answers. Question number 7. A tool for putting fence post into the ground is called a post rammer. Okay, the distance in millimeters that the post sink into the ground on each impact of the post rammer follows a geometric progression. Okay, the first three impacts cause the post to sink into the ground by 50 millimeter, 40 millimeter, and 32 millimeter respectively. So these are basically geometric progression. So for the geometric progression, we have given the terms. The first term is 50, the second term is 40, and the third term is 32, and so on. Part A, verify that the ninth impact is the first in which the post sink less than 10 millimeter into the ground. So for the ninth means the ninth impact is basically the first three impacts means the first three terms. Ninth impact means we need to find the ninth term should be the first term where the post sink less than 10 millimeter. It means the fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, all the terms are not 10, right? But the ninth one is should be less than 10. Okay, we need to verify it is a geometric progression. So we need the first term, which is a, so it is 50, and we need the common ratio, which is second term over the first term, which is 4 by 5, or 4 by 5 should be 0.8. That is the common ratio. Okay, now we need to verify, right? So we have first, second, and third term. Let me find out for the nth term. For the geometric progression, we can write down that nth term is a r to the power n minus 1. We have a is 50, r is 0.8. Okay, first three terms are given. Now for the fourth term, a r to the power 3. For fifth term, a r to the power 5 minus 1, which is 4. For sixth term, we have a r to the power 6 minus 1, which is 5. For seventh term, we can say the a and r to the power 7 minus 1. For eighth term, which is first term, and r to the power 8 minus 1 is 7. And the ninth term, 50, 0.8 to the power 8. This is a ninth term, right? Now let me verify. For verification, you have to check every details, right? Now this is 50, 0.8 to the power 3. This is 25.6. Now 0.8 to the power 4. This is 20.48. And 0.8 to the power 5, which is 16.4. And 0.8 to the power 6, 13.1. 0.8 to the power 7, 10.5. 0.8 to the power 8, which is 8.4. Now you guys can see we have given the first three impacts, right? First three impacts means first three terms, right? Now this is a fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth impact. You guys can see it is 50, 40, 32, and it is decreasing 25, 20, 16, 13, 10, and 8.4. So it is verified that the ninth impact or the ninth term is the first one in which the post sink less than 10 millimeter in the ground. Less than 10 millimeter in the ground. This is the first post because for eighth impact it is more than 10, and ninth impact is the first one which is less than. Now the 10th impact should be less than 10, but we need to find out which impact, which term gives you the where the posting in the ground less than 10 millimeter. So this is the first one, although 10th impact is also less than 10 millimeter, but we need to figure out that first impact which gives you the depth should be less than 10 millimeter. Now for part B, find to the nearest millimeter the total depth of the post in the ground after 20 impacts. Means from 1 till 20, all impacts. We need to find the total depth. It means the sum of 1 till 20 impacts. Right? So we need to find the total depth of the post in the ground after 20 impacts. Means the first impact, when you put it first, the post, the name of that tool is post rammer. Yes, when you put give first time pressure on the post rammer, it's 50 millimeter, then second time 40 millimeter, then third time 32 millimeter till 20th impact. First till 20th impact you have to sum up everything, right? So we have given in the beginning that it is a geometric progression, and the sum for the geometric progression Sn is a into 1 minus r power n over 1 minus r, or you can use the other formula for Sn, which is a into r power n minus 1 over r minus 1. Both are correct, right? So S20 we need to figure out, n value is 20, a is 50 into 1 minus r is 0.8, and it is 20 divides 1 minus 0.8. Okay, let me simplify. 1 minus 0.8 to the power 20 multiplied by 50 and divided by 1 minus 0.8, 247 millimeter to the nearest millimeter. This is 247 millimeter. We need to find, and to the nearest millimeter, the total depth of the post in the ground, inside of that ground, after 20 impacts. When you give first impact, it's 50. It inside it's 50 millimeter, then second impact, then third impact, till 20 impact. So the sum after the total, when you do the total of 20 impact, so this would be the total depth of the post, which is 247 millimeter. All right. Now for part C, find the greatest total depth. Total depth means the sum, and the greatest means sum to infinity. This is sum to infinity. We need to figure out sum to infinity. Find the greatest total depth in the ground which could theoretically be achieved. Okay, for sum to infinity, we have the formula a over 1 minus r, but the r should lies between 1 and minus 1. So we know that r is 0.8, it is between 1 and minus 1. So just simplify s infinity, the a value is 50 over 1 minus 0.8. 50 divides 50 divides 1 minus 0.8, 250. So this is the greatest total depth. S infinity is 250 millimeter. So this would be the greatest total depth which is theoretically be achieved. 250 millimeters. Question number 8. The function f is defined by, this is a function f of x for x is greater than p by 4 where p is a constant. Part A, find f prime of x and hence determine whether f is an increasing function, a decreasing function, or neither. So first we need to find f prime of x. Okay, so for f prime of x, first write down f of x, which is 2 minus 3, 4x minus p to the power negative 1. I'm just writing f of x, not f prime of x. Now we have to differentiate with respect to x. Okay. Now when we differentiate with respect to x, this is f prime of x. 2 is a constant, its derivative is 0. Negative 3 is as it is. Applying the power rule on this term, right? Write down the power, the base function, and then we do the power minus 1 and the derivative of this. Since p is a constant, not a function of x, so its derivative is just 4. Okay. Now if prime of x, this becomes 3 minus minus plus 3 times 4 is 12. 4x minus p to the power negative 2, or further simplification, f prime of x should be 12 over 4x minus p, its whole square. Okay, now you can see this function is the first derivative. The function is increasing when first derivative is positive, it is decreasing when first derivative is negative, and it is neither when it does not show any relation like positive or negative, any behavior, right? Okay, so as you guys can see, as we know that x should be greater than p by 4 and p is any constant, when you put any value of p and when you put any value for x which is greater than p by 4 and multiply by 4 and take its whole square. So any value for p or any value for x, and simplify this expression and take it square, and 12 square is always positive, whether inside it is negative, this term is always positive, and 12 over some positive is always positive. This implies f prime of x is greater than 0 always. This implies function is increasing. This is positive 12, it is greater than 0, and this whole expression, any value for x, any value for p, simplify, take its square, you will always get a positive number, right? So the function is increasing. If you have negative 12, then it must be decreasing, because you can see in the numerator it is positive, denominator after solving the square it is also positive, so the whole function is positive, so it is increasing function. Now for part B, express f prime of x in the form where a, b, c, d are integers. Okay. So for f prime of x, the first step is to put y equals to f of x. And we have f of x. This is your f of x. Write it down. Y is equals to 2 minus 3 over 4x minus p. This is x. Okay, when you put y equals to f of x, the next step is to switch the variables. Y switches with x equals to 2 minus 3 over 4. X switches with y minus p. Now the next step is to solve for this y. So x minus 2 would be equals to negative 3 over 4y minus p. So what I did, I just shifted 2 on the other side, negative 2. Now switch the positions. This over here, because we're solving for y, x minus 2 in the denominator. Right, now solve for y, shift the p. 4y would be equals to minus 3 over x minus 2 becomes plus p, and y would be equals to 1 over 4 into minus 3 over x minus 2 plus p. Right, now this is your f inverse of x, this y is your f inverse of x, it is okay. But in the question we have given that we need to figure out in this form, like p over some constant, some integer, right? Okay, y would be equals to minus 3 over 4 is multiplying with x minus 2, and plus p is multiplying with 1 over 4 as well. 1 by 4 is multiplying with this expression and with the p. So here y is equals to minus 3 over 4x minus 4 times 2 is 8 plus p over 4. This implies f prime of x is p over some integer. P over some integer p over a value is 4, minus b, which is 3, over cx minus d, cx minus d. This is in the given form. Now for part C, hence state the value of p for which f inverse equals to f of x. So f inverse of x is equals to f of x. This is expression for f inverse, which is p by 4 minus 3 over 4x minus 8, and the expression for f of x is, this is expression for f of x, I'm writing it down, which is 2 minus 3 over 4x minus p. What is the value for p? If you do the comparison, this 2 would be equals to p over 4, right? So which number divided by 4 gives you 2? 8 over 4 gives you 2, right? The p value is 8. Or comparison of this expression, negative 3 with negative 3, 4x with 4x, minus 8 minus p. This implies the p value is 8. I hope this is clear now. Question number 9. Functions f and g are both defined for x belongs to real number and are given by f of x and g of x are both quadratic functions. Party express f of x in this form. Okay, so we have f of x which is equals to x square minus 4x plus 9. So we need to convert f of x into the vertex form basically. So here we have to apply the completing square method. Completing square method. So completing square method has few steps, right? So the first step is to take the coefficient of x square common from the first and the second term. X square coefficient is just 1, take it common from the first term, from the second term, and the third term is as it is, right? In the next step, you have to pick the coefficient of x, which is negative 4, divided by 2, take its whole square. Okay, negative, sorry, in the bracket, negative 4 divided by 2, take its whole square, which is equals to 4. So you need to add and subtract 4 inside the bracket, right? So here we have x square minus 4x plus 4 and minus 4 plus 9 is as it is. Now combine the first three terms inside the bracket and the fourth term is outside. Negative 4, positive 9. Now when you complete the square, you can see a square minus 2ab plus b square. This is x minus 2 whole square. And from 9 take away 4, you will get 5. So the function f of x can be written in the form x minus 2 whole square plus 5. So a value is 2 and the b value is 5. We have expressed it. Moving to part B, express g of x in the form. Okay, so the function g of x is 2x square plus 4x plus 12. Okay, so we need to express 2 is common and then the rest of the thing. Okay, so again, completing square method. So for completing square method, we can say g of x, take 2 common throughout the term you have given, right? So x square, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 6 is 12. Okay, now combine the first two terms. G of x is 2x square plus 2x and plus 6 is outside, like we did in this A part. Okay, now the next step is again take the coefficient of x square common, x common, sorry. So inside the bracket, the x coefficient is 2 divided by 2, take its whole square. So this is just 1. So add and subtract 1 inside the bracket, which is x square plus 2x plus 1 minus 1 and plus 6 is outside. Now g of x is To combine the first three terms, x square plus 2x plus 1 minus 1 and plus 6 is I just take minus 1 out of the bracket. Now g of x is 2. Now this is a square plus 2ab plus b square. So x plus 1 whole square and plus 5. Now this is in the form of, in this form, which is 2x plus c whole square plus d. C is 1 and d is 5. 2 into x plus 1 whole square plus 5. This is the expression for g of x. Part C, express g of x in the form k f of x plus h, where k and h are integers. Okay, so g of x in terms of f of x we need to express. Okay, so if I can write both of the function, f of x is x minus 2 whole square plus 5, and g of x we got is 2 into x plus 1 whole square plus 5. Okay, so basically there are two transformations applying on the function f to get the function g. Okay, so this is a function f. So the first transformation, this k is the stretch in y direction. Okay, and this is a horizontal translation, left. All right, so you can say, so the k is basically the stretch in y direction. This is your f of x. Now 2 is multiplying with the whole function. So we can say f of x is x minus 2 whole square plus 5. If you do 2 times f of x, because stretch is always in y direction, is multiplying with the whole function, 2 times the whole function x minus 2 whole square plus 5. Stretch in y direction by a factor of 2. 2. H and k are integer, 2 is an integer, right? So when you put 2 plus 5, now just this thing is plus 1 and this thing is minus 2. Okay, so what would be the h value? This h is basically the horizontal translation. Anything add with the x value. Horizontal translation, some units it's positive h, so it's left. Some units left. Okay. So how much unit to the left? For left we add something. So in this whole thing, which with x, what you minus 2, what you add to get plus 1? When you add 3, because 3 minus 2 gives you 1, so 3 units left. So in 2f of x, we have 2 x minus 2 whole square plus 5. So 2 f of x plus 3, because towards left, so we have to add, right? So 2 into x minus 2 plus 3 whole square plus 5. This is 2 into x plus 1 whole square plus 5. And this is your g of x. So which two transformations we have to apply? We have to apply a stretch in y direction by a factor of 2 and horizontal translation 3 units left. So the k value is 2 and the h value is 3. So we can write this down as 2 f of x plus 3. Okay. Now for part D, describe fully the two transformations that have been combined to transform the graph of y equals to f of x to the graph of g of x. We have already done in part C that g of x is 2 f of x plus 3. We can express g of x as 2 times f of x plus 3. So what are the two transformations? The first transformation is a stretch in y direction by a factor of 2, and the second transformation is a translation. There is no vertical translation, there is only a horizontal translation, which is 3 units left. So for left, minus 3 and 0. We have to write down negative when we are writing in matrix form. We have, for left we write negative, for right we have to write down positive in matrix representation, right, of the translation. But when we are dealing with the x value, for left add something and for right subtract something. So this matrix representation of translation just give you the idea that if you have just given the translate this g of x by minus 3 and 0, so this negative 3 gives you the idea that we have to translate 3 units left, but inside the function we have to do the opposite. We have to add 3. Same is the case for the stretch in x direction, because x transformations are always reverse. When you have stretch in y direction by a factor of 2, it stays 2. When you have a vertical translation 0 or any unit, you have it stays the same. But when we have vertical translate horizontal translation, it is reverse. And when you have stretch in x direction by some scale factor of 2, but we need to reverse 1 by 2 multiplying with the value of x. I hope this is clear now. So these are the two series of transformations. Question number 10, curves with equations. We have two curves and they have equation of the curves intersect at A and B as shown in the diagram. Okay, so we have the first curve, we have the second curve, they intersect at point A and at point B. We have given the coordinates as well. Part A, find the area of the region between the two curves. Area of the region between these two curves. So here the x coordinate is 0 and here the x coordinate is 4. So we need to integrate, right? The x coordinate is 0 over here and the x coordinate is 4 over here. Okay, so area between the two curves. This is a top curve and this is a bottom curve. Okay, area between the two curve is integration of the top curve from 0 to 4, subtract the integration of the bottom curve from 0 to 4. Okay, let me write down the area between the two curves in integration from 0 to 4. The top curve is this one, y equals to 2x to the power 1 by 2 plus 1 with respect to dx, minus integration from 0 to 4 for the bottom curve is this one, is the bottom curve, which is half x square minus x plus 1 with respect to dx. Okay, simplify both of them. Let me start doing the integration. 2 is as it is, power rule of integration, x to the power n plus 1 over n plus 1, n is the power, right? Plus x integration is 1, integration is just x and the limits are from 0 to 4, minus this is half x square integration is x cube over 3, minus x integration is x square over 2, plus 1 integration is x from 0 to 4. Okay, one more step for simplification. 1 by 2 plus 1 is 3 by 2. 3 by 2 and this 2 is just cancelled out, or 2 x to the power 3 by 2. This is also 3 by 2, so we can shift to the numerator, which is 2 by 3, and plus x 0 to 4, minus x cube 2 times 3 is 6, minus x square over 2 plus x from 0 to 4. So this is 4 over 3 x to the power 3 by 2 plus x from 0 to 4. Subtract, we have a limit x cube over 6 minus x square over 2 plus x from 0 to 4. Now we have to apply limits. Okay, when we are applying the limits, we have upper limit 4 over 3. The upper limit is 4 to the power 3 by 2 plus 4. This is upper limit. Subtract the lower limit 0 and 0. So no need to do that. Upper limit is 4, its cube divided by 6 minus 4 square over 2 plus 4 minus the lower limit 0, 0, 0. No need to write it down. Just simplify that. 4 over 3 multiply 4 to the power 3 by 2. 32 over 3 plus with 4. This is 44 over 3. Subtract 4, 4 cube divided by 6 minus 4 square is 16 divided by 2 plus 4. 20 over 3. Negative 20 divided by 3. So 44 divided by 3 minus 20 divided by 3 is just 8. So that area is 8 units. So area between two curves is 8 unit square. The acute angle is the angle which is less than 90 degree between the two tangents at B is denoted by alpha degrees. Okay, so alpha is basically the angle in degrees which is acute less than 90 between the two tangents at B, and the scales on the axis are the same. Find the value of alpha in part B. Okay, so we need to figure out the alpha. So this is the tangent at B by using the second curve, and this would be the tangent of the first curve. Okay, so as we know that gradient we can need to figure out for both of the curve. Yes. Okay, this is the tangent line for upper curve. You can see this is a tangent at B for the upper curve, this curve, right? And this is a lower curve at B, and this is a tangent for the lower curve, right? So we need to figure out the gradient for both curves to get the angle. So the upper curve, you can write this down. Sorry, the upper curve is y equals to 2x to the power 1 by 2 plus 1. And what is dy over dx for the upper curve, which is 2, 1 over 2, x to the power 1 by 2 minus 1, and one derivative is 0, so 2 is cancelled out with 2, x to the power minus 1 by 2, or 1 over square root of x, right? So for the upper curve, this is the upper curve. So as you can see, this line is tangent to this curve. For equation of tangent, we need the point and we need the gradient of the curve at this point B. So the gradient of this curve at x is equals to 4. Now dy over dx at x is equals to 4. This is 1 over root 4, that is equals to 1 by 2. So this is the gradient of tangent of the upper curve. So I wrote the upper curve. This is a equation for the upper curve, the derivative of the upper curve and the derivative of the curve at the point B, x coordinate is 4, is this. So this is a gradient of tangent to the upper curve at point B. Okay, so what is tangent basically? So as you can see, I'm using two different color pencils. This is the upper curve, right? This is upper curve and this is the tangent to the upper curve. tangent of the upper curve at point B, this red one. Okay, this tangent makes an angle with the x-axis. So let me draw the x-axis. This is x-axis, right? So we know that this tangent line makes the angle with x-axis is, what is that angle? That angle is, the tangent makes the angle with the positive x-axis is your theta. Okay, and what is this theta, right? We know that the gradient is equals to tan theta, as we know that gradient is always equals to tangent theta, right? So the gradient of the upper curve we have done, which is 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 is your tangent theta, or we can say tangent inverse of 1 by 2. This is your theta. For the upper curve we can use the number 1, right? So what is your value for theta? So we have to use a concept that tangent theta is the gradient, or the gradient of curve is basically tangent theta. And what is theta? Theta is the angle that the equation of tangent makes with the positive x-axis. This is your theta 1, right? Now we have to do the same thing for the lower curve. All right, now for the lower curve we can write down its equation, which is y equals to half x square minus x plus 1. Now take the gradient of the lower curve, which is dy over dx, which is half x square derivative is 2x, x derivative is just minus 1, so it is cancelled out. This is x minus 1, right? And we need to figure out the gradient of this curve at point B, whose x coordinate is 4. So that is 4 minus 1, that is just 3. Okay, so let me use the green color for this. Okay, now this is the lower curve, and this is the tangent to the lower curve at point B, right? Now this tangent makes with the angle with the positive x-axis is theta 2, you can say, right? This tangent line makes the angle with the positive x-axis is theta 1, right? And this tangent makes the angle with the positive x-axis is theta 2. All right, now again use the same concept. We wrote the curve, take its derivative at the point B, same the lower curve derivative at point B. Now using the same concept that the gradient of a curve is basically equals to tangent theta, because we have to find out the angle basically, right? So that angle, so that is why we are using the information that tangent theta, gradient is basically tangent theta. Gradient of this curve is 3, which is tangent theta, name it theta 2. So tangent inverse of 3, this is your theta 2. So we have the value of theta 1 and theta 2, right? Now we need to figure out the value for alpha. If you guys can see, here is alpha. So this whole theta 2, right? This whole angle is theta 2. If from this whole angle, if you subtract this thing, you will get alpha, right? Or if I can explain one more time, we have this whole thing and we have this thing as well. But we need to solve for this angle. So this whole thing is theta 2, right? This thing is theta 1. So how do we get this thing? From theta 1, if you take away theta 2, you will get the angle alpha in degrees, right? So this whole theta 2, right? You have to take away this portion, you will get this angle alpha. I hope this is clear now. Now we can say alpha is basically theta 1 take away theta 2, No, sorry, I messed up. This whole angle is theta 2. Sorry. From theta 2, you have to take away theta 1. So let's take theta 2 and theta 1. So the green one is theta 2. From theta 2, if you take away theta 1, you will get alpha. Right? So here we have theta 2 and theta 1. You will get alpha, and that should be an acute angle. Alpha in degrees, theta 2 is tangent inverse of 3 minus theta 1 is tangent inverse of half. Tangent inverse of 1 by 2. Okay. Now let me simplify both of them in degrees. I calculated it in degrees, right? Tangent inverse of 3 subtract tangent inverse of 1 by 2, 45 degrees. So that alpha is 45 degrees, and this is an acute angle which is less than 90 degree. I hope this is clear now. So basic concept is we have to write down the two curves in this question. This part of the question, we need to write down the upper curve, we need to write down the lower curve, we need to differentiate, take the derivative of both curve at point B, whose x coordinate is 4, because we know that the gradient of the curve at the point B would be the gradient of that tangent line. And then the main concept is gradient is always equals to tangent theta. So put the gradient of that curve equals to tangent theta. And what is theta? Theta is basically the angle that the tangent line makes with the positive x-axis. That this would be the angle of theta. So when you subtract the theta 2 from theta 1, you will get the angle alpha. Question number 11. The diagram shows the circle with equation x square plus y square equals to 20. This would be the equation of the circle. Tangents touching the circle at point B and C. Okay, so tangent to the circle at C, and this is the tangent to the circle at B. They both touches the circle at B, and C passes through the point A, which is 0 and 10. Okay, tangent at B passes through A, tangent at C passes through A. Okay, part A, by letting the equation of tangent B, this would be the equation of tangent. We are just supposing for part A that this is equation of tangent is y equals to mx plus 10, y equals to mx plus 10. Find the two possible values of m. Okay, so if we have the equation of tangent and the equation of circle, we can easily find out the point of intersection of the tangent and the circle, right? So we know that for point of intersection of tangent and circle. So for point of intersection, we can say x square plus y square. This is y. Mx plus 10 square equals to 20. Now this is x square plus m square x square plus 10 square is 100 plus 2 times 10 is 20 mx, and shift the 20 on the other side equals to 0. I just opened the square. This x square is as it is, 20 is minus 20, a square plus b square plus 2ab, right? Now x square coefficients are 1 plus m square is a coefficient of x square. X coefficient is 20, m is a coefficient of x, and the constant is from 100 take away 20 is just 80 equals to 0, right? Now as we know that tangent touch the circle at one point, right? Tangent touches the circle at one point. So its discriminant should be equals to 0, right? If it touches the circle at one point, so this means the discriminant b square minus 4ac should be equals to 0, right? Now what is ABC? A is a coefficient of x square, b is a coefficient of x, and c is a constant term. So the b is 20m, take it square, minus 4a is 1 plus m square, and c is 80. Put it equals to 0 and solve for the m values, right? We just find two possible values of m. 20 square is 20 times 20, 2 times 2 is 4, and double 0, 400 m square, minus 4 times 8, 80 times 4 is 320. So 320 is multiplying with 1 plus m square. Let me take 20 square. Yeah, it's 400. Yes. 400 m square minus 320 minus 320 m square with 1 with m square equals to 0. From 400 take away 320 is just 80. 80 m square minus 320 equals to 0. 80 m square equals to 320, and m square would be equals to 320 take away 80 divided by 83. 20 divides 80, this would be equals to 4. So m value is 4 m square. Now to get the value for m, take a square root on both sides with a plus minus, so you will get two values for m. So m is equals to plus minus 2. So these are the two possible values of m. All right. So now we have the tangents. My equals to mx plus 10 is 2x plus 10 and minus 2x plus 10, right? These two tangents, 2x plus 10 and minus 2x plus 10. Now for part B, find the coordinates of B and C. Okay. So as you can see, B is the point where the tangent touch the circle, and C is a point where the tangent touch the circle. Now we have two equation of tangents and you have equation of circle. Okay. Now we can say equation of tangents are y equals to 2x plus 10 and y equals to minus 2x plus 10, and we have equation of circle, which is x square plus y square equals to 20. Now the circle intersect this tangent, you will get the point of intersection of the circle and the coordinates of B and C, right? Now we can say points of intersection of circle with two tangents. Okay, so let me do both things side by side. If I can just draw the margin line between them. So we have the equation of circle x square plus, take this first one, 2x plus 10 is y square, and this is equals to 20. Or on the other hand, x square plus minus 2x plus 10 is the y square equals to 20. And here you will get the coordinates, right? So x square, this is 4x square. 10 times 10 is 100 into 2ab. So 2 into 2 into 10, which is 40x, and shift the 20 on the other side equals to 0. So here I open the square a plus b whole square. A square plus b square plus 2ab. Now this is 5x square and this is a constant plus 40x and plus 80 equals to 0, right? Now dividing throughout the equation by 5, because everything is divisible by 5, both sides. So it's x square, 5 times 8 is 40, and 5 times 1 is 5, 6, 7, 8, 30. 5 times 6 is 30 equals to 0, right? Now this is x square into 2a square plus 2ab plus b square, which is x plus 4 whole square. X plus 4 whole square equals to 0. To get the x value, take a square root on both sides and you will get x plus 4 equals to 0. From here the x coordinate is negative 4, right? Now we need to figure out the y coordinate, right? Now plug the x coordinate into the equation of tangent. This tangent we have to use the first one, 2x plus 10, right? Okay, so for the y coordinate we can say You have to put x into the tangent y equals to 2x plus 10. X is negative 4 and solve for the y coordinate, which is 2 into minus 4 plus 10. 2 times 4 is 8. So y would be equals to negative 8 plus 10. So the y coordinate is 2. Right. Now we have the x and the y coordinates, which is negative 4 and 2. Okay, let me do the same thing on the other side. Okay, this is a tangent. Open the square. X square plus 4x square minus 2 times 2 is 4 and 4 times 10 is 40x. 10 square is 100. Shift the 20 on the other side equals to 0. Again, this is 5x square minus 40x and plus 80 equals to 0. Everything is divisible by 5. Divisible by 5 on both sides. Here you have x square minus 8x and plus 16 equals to 0. This is x minus 4 whole square equals to 0. To get the value for x, take a square root on both sides and we will get x minus 4 is equals to 0. So the x value is 4. Now we have the x coordinate. To get the y coordinate, you have to plug the x value into this equation of tangent, right? So we can say for y coordinate, you have to put x into y equals to minus 2x plus 10. Okay, so the y coordinate is negative 2 into 4 plus 10. 4 times 2 is 8 minus 8 plus 10 and the y coordinate is 2. Now we have the xy coordinates are 4 and 2. Okay, now we need to see the xy values are 2 but the x values are minus 4 and positive 4. So here you can see the y value is 2, it's the same, right? But the x value is 4 and minus 4. So the c coordinates are 4 2 and the b coordinates are minus 4 and 2. So these are the coordinates for c and these are the coordinates for point b. All right. Now, the point D is where the circle crosses the positive x-axis. When the circle crosses the positive x-axis, it means its y component should be equals to 0. Let me show you the point D. D is the point where the circle crosses the positive x-axis. X should be some positive and y is equals to 0. The coordinates of D now. Part C, find the angle BCD in degrees. BC with D. BC BDC, sorry, BDC. Okay, let me join them. B joins with C and C joins with D and D joins with B. So we need to find the angle B, D and C, this angle. Let's say this angle is theta. All right. So first thing, we have the coordinates of B, we have the coordinates of C. We need to find the coordinates of D for this triangle, right? So coordinates of D are basically the point where the circle cross the positive x-axis. The circle y component is 0. So here we can say, sorry, coordinates of D. So we have the circle x square plus y square equals to 20. Crosses x-axis. Y component is equals to 0. So x square plus y0 equals to 20. X square equals to 20. Now what is your x? X should be root and root with plus minus. So we have to consider x is equals to positive root 20. Positive for positive x-axis we have given, not for the negative, right? Sorry. Okay. Now the coordinates of D has the coordinate x coordinate is root 20 and the y coordinate is 0. Now this dx coordinate we can say root of 20 and the y coordinate is 0. Now this look like a triangle. We have to find this angle. When you know BC and CD, the two sides. Okay. Uh, when we know all the three side length, we can apply the law of cosine and then find out that angle. Yes. So let me find the length of all sides. Let me draw the triangle over here. So the triangle and the value of between their sides. This is the shape of the triangle. Here is the side B, this is C, and this is D. So C coordinates are 4, 2, B coordinates are negative 4 and 2, and the D coordinates are square root of 20 and 0. Okay, now we need to figure out the distance between B and C. How much is the distance? The y's are the constant. We have the distance in x only. Now do the distance between B, which is minus 4, 2, and C, which is 4, 2. Okay, so that distance is basically the magnitude of BC, having the formula square root of x2 minus x1 whole square, 4 plus 4 whole square, plus y2 minus y1 whole square. Plus 2 and minus 2 is just 0. 4 plus 4 is square root 4 plus 4 is 8 whole square, and it is cancelled out, it is just 8. So that distance is 8. Now the second thing, distance from B to D. Distance between B minus 4 2 and D, which is root 20 and 0. That distance is BD, x2 minus x1 whole square, root 20 plus 4 its whole square, plus y2 minus y1 whole square. Okay, let me simplify this distance. Root 20 plus 4 its whole square, I can say root 20 plus 4 square plus 4, because minus 2 square is 4, and the square root of answer is 8.705. This is 8.71. Okay, now the distance from C to D. Distance between C, which is 4 2, and D, which is root 20 and 0. Okay, use the same distance formula. CD, x2 minus x1 whole square, root x2 minus x1, take it square, plus y2 minus y1 whole square. Simplify. Square root of 20, negative 4, take it square, and then add minus 2 square is 4. Is this thing, and the square root of answer is 2.05 or 2.1, you can say. Okay, so you can see this distance is 8 units. This distance is 8.7, and this is 2.1. 2.1, 8.7, yes. Now we have all the distances. We need to find this angle theta. All the three angles of the triangle. Apply law of cosine over here, right? So we can say apply law of cosine on triangle B, C, and D. Okay, so we have this angle and its front side is 8. So the front side of the angle, its square, equals to the rest of the two sides are 2.1 square plus 8.7 square minus 2 into 2.1 into 8.7 into cos of the angle theta, cos theta we can say, and theta should be in degrees, right? Okay, so simplify, we can say, so how do we get theta? 8 square minus 2.1 square minus 8.7 whole square divides minus 2 into 2.1 into 8.7. You will get cos theta. What I did over here, this is 8, shift this on the left, this on the left, and this is multiplying, so divide on the other side, right? 8 square minus 2.1 square minus 8.7 square. This is negative 16.1 divides minus 2 times 2.1 times 8.7, negative 36.54. This is your cos theta, right? Okay, 16.1 divides, negative is cancelled with negative, 36.54. Okay, now we have to do theta should be equals to cos inverse of 0.441. Doing cos inverse, it is in degrees, right, of answer, 63.85 degrees. You some I will get some different answer because I round the these things, right? So you might get some, but 63 is okay, but in the marking scheme it is 63.4, right? So if you have to keep these distances as it is, and the end you have to calculate, or you have to do 3 or 4 decimal points, that is also okay. So this angle we can say is 63.8 degrees, but in marking scheme it is 63.4 degrees, right? This error is basically when you round these two numbers, or if you keep it as it is, you will get the exact answer, right? So that was the last question of our paper. If you have any queries, please let me know in the comment section, and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Take care.